Come to this place called Mani Mahesh, which is a pilgrimage area, and it is a abode of Lord Shiva. As you can see, there are a lot of tourists who come to this area. Have a waste management system around the mountains, because these are treacherous regions, and if you throw plastic and other kind of non-biodegradable stuff, what happens is it just goes down to the rivers, flows along with it, and creates a lot of havoc and natural disasters. To make sure that the trash is like safely disposed of to the right places, like recycling and recycling factories, or else other ventures where like municipal corporations. So what we are trying to do is to clean up the mountains and educate the people around this area, so that they have an awareness about the nature and how we have to maintain it, and make sure the place stays beautiful for everybody who visits around.
नाम क्या है तुम्हारा? क्या?
भारती।
भारती। तुम्हारा?
साक्षी।
ये क्या है? क्या है ये?
पूरे तक कूड़ा डालने वाला, वो बड़ा है और उसमें आदमी कूड़ा डाला है। पसंद नहीं है।
इन्फॉर्मेशन देना है, जगह जगह टॉयलेट वाले लगे हुए हैं, ये कनेक्शन है, तो गार्बेज पूरा ले जाएंगे। और हार्ड प्लास्टिक जो होगा हम लोग रिसाइकिल के लिए हम लोग यूज़ करेंगे। हार्ड प्लास्टिक वो अपने तरफ से होगा, एक प्लेस में उसका स्टोर होगा, देन आफ्टर वी विल मेक ए बिजनेस विद दैट, कैन सेल देम। लाइक यू पेप्सी बॉटल है, ये वाटर बॉटल्स है। तो गिलास कहाँ रखा है?
हाँ, जो आपने अभी वहाँ पर ड्रम देखे, वो उनको हम न्यूज़ के ऊपर लाद के हम उनको बरमानी माता में ले जाएंगे, ताकि लोग वहाँ पर उसमें कूड़ा करकट जो भी है वो डाल सकें। और इसको हम अभी ले जाने वाले हैं, इसको म्यूल पे ऊपर रख के। वो हमने डंचो और इसके लिए मनवेश के लिए ले जाने होते हैं, तो हम हड़सर तक इसमें गाड़ी करके उसको 20 रुपये दे के वो उसमें गाड़ी में रख के हड़सर तक ले जाएंगे। उसके आगे हम म्यूल्स के ऊपर उसको रख के, या तो फिर थ्रू हेलीकॉप्टर भी हम उसको ले जा सकते हैं, बट इट्स कॉस्टली, समथिंग कॉस्टली। और थ्रू म्यूल्स के हम उसको मनवेश या डंचो तक पहुँचा सकते हैं।
कितनी दूर तक सफाई करेगा तू आज पाता तो रखड़ा है तो पड़ दे पाता तो
You better go. Done?
Mean it in a bad way, It's like the one snap thing yesterday. My God, it just got beyond the joke,
Jody, how long have you been doing this?
Well, we formed Mountain Cleaners in April 2009, so nearly 2.5 years. 2.5 years, yeah. This is our second year at the Yatra. We were here last year for 6 weeks, and this year a total of 2 months. And mainly after the Yatra, which we didn't get to do last year, we left pretty soon after the Yatra, and there was a lot of things that we didn't get to clean, which this year we'll be able to do much better.
But do you think there's any improvement the last year to this year?
Yeah, 100% improvement. But more Hudsa, Dancho is the best. If I'm going to be given prizes for clean places, then it would be here at Dancho. The Lungas, a lot of the shops, a lot of people remember us from last year. They're definitely doing their best. And okay, so the people that aren't doing, they'll learn a bit more this year and hopefully next year. These things don't happen overnight. We're not going to just transform everybody. We're not going to change everybody's attitude. But by working and doing what we're doing and other people joining us and showing the support, eventually over time people will change. And this place will be very clean. It's a big job.
Yeah, it's
You're
a big job.
looking at
Do you get any
approximately-
support from the Indian government or anything like that? I mean,
The ADM in Bamor has provided 20 plastic bins and has been helping us to arrange the tents for volunteers here. There's still a lot more that can be done, and it's about building relationships. But the problem in India is these officials are always transferred.
Yes.
So as soon as somebody gets to know an area and a system and a person, then they're moved out, and then you have to start the
New system
process
has
all
come in.
over again, which is quite frustrating, you know. Business, you're an individual, a school child, everybody has to deal with waste, and all the government things that you've got going on, and there isn't specific government departments for garbage, and there needs to be, because it affects everybody in every single walk of life. It's everybody's problem. Every single one of us is contributing to this problem here, so we're all responsible for doing something about it.
what keeps you motivated, and what are the challenges that you face here now?
Well, the motivation really just comes from the beauty of the country. I'm inspired by nature. I'm here to protect nature. Yeah, of course, I care about the Indian people and the welfare of the country, yeah, but my inspiration comes from looking at the mountains and the hills and the trees and realising just how beautiful everything is, and look what we're doing to it. You dump in all of your rivers, in all of your streams, you've got no respect for your own drinking water. You cut down your trees, you've lost 80% of your forests in India, and they're still happy just to keep on cutting it down. Garbage is just thrown absolutely everywhere, and I come from a country where I know it doesn't have to be like this. I know from an absolute fact that it can be clean, and the systems, however basic they are, they work, and they're working all around the world. Before the whole country is one big dump site. People seem to believe that when the monsoon comes that it just washes everything away. It doesn't. It washes them into somebody else's community, into somebody else's village. It contaminates somebody else's drinking water. And the challenges are just normal, everyday challenges. You try to change people's attitudes and change people's habits. They've done it this way all their life. They've always thrown it in the nullah. They've always thrown it on the street. They've always set fire to it. People here collect plastic to burn because it's a good fire starter. Nobody's taught how dangerous it is, how many toxins and chemicals are in it, and how they're released into the atmosphere, how you're harming your own children through burning garbage. But the thing is, with the challenges comes the successes and people changing their attitudes, and I get emails from all around the world where people don't throw garbage on the ground anymore. They've started recycling, they've found out more, they've cleaned up their street, they've cleaned up the local park. People do change, not overnight, but they do change. This is our place that we're making dirty. And the recycling thing is so easy, there's rag pickers everywhere, and if you're in a city then it's even easier because there's even more rag pickers, and they can either take your recyclable things off you free of charge, or they'll pay you for them if you've got large amounts. So
Educated people there who have understanding and
exactly. And just managing your own waste, really. It's not rocket science, it's very easy. It's worth it, and somehow there's been times I've had no money and then we've sold a t-shirt and I've got enough money to go and buy the shopping for the trip to Triumphs, and then we've sold another 3 shirts, or somebody's made a donation, and I never know where the next money's going to come from, but then somehow it just comes, you know. And the same with volunteers. I mean it. The thing that keeps me going more than anything else is I'm surrounded by really good people all the time, and there's new people with new energy and new ideas.
नदी साफ रहेगा तो सभी आएंगे देखने के लिए, गंदा हो जाएगा तो कौन आएगा? आप कहीं प्लास्टिक नहीं फेंकना चाहिए। ऐड नहीं कर रहे हैं हम लोग, जैसे हम समझा रहे हैं लोगों को, वही चीज़ हम लोग फिल्म कर रहे हैं। आपने क्या सीखा आज? कुछ सेल नहीं कर रहा, हम बस ये बोलना चाहते हैं कि आप प्लास्टिक इधर उधर मत फेंकिए, सिर्फ लंगर के पास जाके छोड़ दीजिए उसे। और कोई लंगर के पास आपको ऐसे बैग मिलेंगे आपको ऐसे से
तो वहाँ पे जो भी प्लास्टिक या जो भी कचरा है उसमें ही डालना, ठीक है? क्योंकि
जैसे चिप्स खा रहे हैं, चिप्स का वो पैकेट, रैपर,
पानी का बोतल बाहर मत फेंको।
कोल्ड ड्रिंक इधर उधर नहीं फेंकना चाहिए, उसको बस उसी में किसी बैग में डालना। तो यही करते हैं हम, जब हिमाचल साफ रहेगा तो यहाँ के पानी वानी सब साफ रहेंगे।
और लोगों को बताना, अगर कोई ऐसा फेंक रहा है तो उनको भी बताना।
आप भी ध्यान रखिए, हम और लोगों को भी सिखाइए। हम
The mountain cleaner dog. I never usually put a collar on her. I've never had a lead on her. But just here, because there's so many people at the Yatra, I'm just a little bit worried. And it's got our phone numbers in here in case she gets lost, which she won't, because she never really lets me out of her sight. She's in charge of food waste.
Food expert.
She's our food waste expert. She's been with me for about a year and a half now. She's a very good companion. Come on then. Life, you know, like. Yeah, exactly. You've got to be calmer and do something good with your life, you know. You can't just pay some money and expect to get it. It's like all these fat people riding mules, like able-bodied young men that are perfectly capable of walking. They take a mule up to Mani Mahesh. This is not a pilgrimage. A pilgrimage is on foot. It's a hallowed, it's a holy journey. They're just having a mule ride to a lake, you know.
पूछना चाहते हैं कि आप गधे पे भी जा रहे हैं, ऊपर पैदल जाना चाहिए ना, ये मतलब पीठ यात्रा है।
जितनी अपने पे कैपेसिटी है जितने पैदल चल रही है,
लेकिन जो हो रहा है ना,
अब अपना शरीर उसके बाद काम करना छोड़ो। जितना शरीर ने काम करा उतना पैदल चलो, उसके बाद
थोड़ी दूर तक आप
पैदल वापस चढ़ के गया।
वो अच्छा है,
जब चला नहीं जाता तो क्या करें?
सब बड़ा बुरा होता है ना। तो he's like so much plastic, how could we clean it all?
Do you have a dustbin?
No.
Ah, here is the first problem then, huh?
Yeah.
No dustbin.
No dustbin.
What about if you had dustbin?
That side.
But if every shop had one dustbin, then there are these pits for the garbage you just put inside.
So I understand that.
So he wants a bag so that he can
Yeah.
push all the dust.
I can bring you a bag, but before I give the bag, you need some box inside, you know? Because look here, you have ashtray?
Ashtray है?
Ashtray?
आस्ट्रे जो सिगरेट
सिगरेट बुझाने के लिए रखते हैं ना कटोरा।
चलते जाएगा, गंदा रखेंगे तो कैसा होगा?
I need a bag really, this one, and then
So
swap it
disposing
over
the
to
trash is not
inside.
enough. When before people can burn it, you have to dispose it from this place.
Yeah, this is the problem, and people don't really understand that. And the biggest thing really is food waste.
Food waste.
The food that is wasted at this yatra alone would probably feed every hungry person in India.
Yeah, I know that.
You know, like
There's lots of
seriously,
food
there's
waste.
people dying from starvation around the world. Yet the majority of what is in these pits is food, and I think with the Lungas, they need to make a special effort to only give people what they want to eat. You know, not to overload the plate. If people want more, then they can go back again. And also, I'd say to Lungas, please don't use disposable plates and cups. As of August this month, this polystyrene and plastic plates and cups, cutlery have been banned. It's now illegal.
Yeah, but most of the langas still they
But
use.
who's going to be enforcing this? That's the problem, enforcement. But that will happen in the future, same as it has done with plastic bags. And the ADM has actually confiscated a lot of plastic from this yatra, like the raincoats. And I think in the future it would be nice if there was some separate container that food scraps could be scraped into. And the same with the food. What we'd hoped to do this year was have separate pits for the food waste and the biodegradable waste, so your cardboard and your paper. If the food could go with that, then that would all just be gone this time next year. And then it would leave us the plastic. It's the plastic that's the big problem. That's what's going to be in the ground for the longest amount of time. And the metal, you're looking at about 1,000 years. So you can just say, we'll bring him a bag. And does he have one of these signs, what's recyclable and what's not? This information?
आपके पास कोई साइन दिया गया, मतलब सरकार कागज वगैरह?
Yeah, I can see one just there, yeah. So we'll take these milk packets. You can put them in one of these bags that we'll give him.
ये कह रहे हैं कि ऐसे वाले बैग देंगे आपको। तो कार्डबोर्ड के जो पैकेट होते हैं, वो जिसमें दूध वगैरह आता है ना, वो प्लास्टिक चिप्स वगैरह जो चनी वनी के होते हैं ना, उनको उन सबको एक जगह दिखाइएगा आप इसी में। बैग लगा दो, इतना रख दो हमारे पास, उसमें डालो। He's like, you know, if we have a bag there, then
Okay. And metal, this foil that they cover the food with, this aluminium foil, if he just folds it inside itself, it will take this as well.
एल्यूमिनियम फॉइल भी आपका लपेट के रखा करो जो भी मतलब
It
आपका
doesn't
काम हो गया है,
matter.
तो लपेट के रख दो तो
पहले ये गड्ढे डाले हुए थे ना, इसमें जो कचरा होता है वो बताएंगे तो इसमें डाल ये थैले लगाएंगे आपको, हम इसमें डाल के
हाँ।
बंद करेंगे।
और अगर ये भर जाता है तो आप कोई बोरी वोरी होगी आपके
ठीक है,
पास?
अगर हमारे पास ये भर जाता है
जो लोग आते हैं उनको
हम
भी ये
अपनी बोरी में डाल के रखेंगे।
तो जो लोग आते रहते हैं उनके पे भी ध्यान रखो, इधर उधर ना करें।
कुछ भी हो जलाना मत।
जलाना नहीं है, कुछ भी हो प्लास्टिक जलाना है।
ठीक है, थैले में डाल के रखेंगे।
थैले में डाल के। थैंक यू भैया।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
मैं पहले आई थी यहाँ भरमौर में, और यहाँ हम 2-3 दिन तक क्लीनिंग किया था, और फिर हम गए थे धंचो में हम 7 दिन तक रहे थे। और फिर वहाँ गार्बेज का मैक्सिमम जो गार्बेज है वो पेट बॉटल्स का होता है, और वो तो आई थिंक एवरी cooling manufacturing company has to take this initiative that the bottles have to be returned back to the company so that it can be recycled by them and not just thrown around everywhere. I think that is one thing which has to be done. And another thing that we found in excess was the chips packets. So that I think public should learn to dispose properly. Plastic that's been there, it's been there from so long that we had to dig it up from the ground and pick it up from under the stones. I think that was the main problem there.
हमारी हमारा जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, गवर्नमेंट है, डस्टबिन पर इतना ध्यान नहीं देती। हम काफ़ी दूर वॉक करना पड़ता है अगर हम एक डस्टबिन को ढूंढने की कोशिश करें। अगर वो रेगुलर प्लेसेस पे ना, अलग अलग जगहों पर, और डिस्टेंस कम हो उनके बीच में, अगर हर जगह हो तो शायद लोगों में धीरे धीरे ये आदत आ जाए, एटीट्यूड चेंज हो लोगों का। तो डस्टबिन होना सबसे ज़्यादा बड़ी ज़रूरत है।
हम यहाँ पे बहुत सारा काम करते हैं, जैसे माउंटेन्स को क्लीन करना हमारा मेन पर्पस है, और लोगों को एजुकेट करना अबाउट द नेचर, and we are also doing some other works like cultural activities and to teach the children and other like to say how to save the nature and how to remove the pollution from the nature. एंड ऑल्सो हम यहाँ पे बहुत से डोनेशन का काम भी करते हैं, लोगों को ये सिखाते हैं कि उनको पोस्टर, उसको पैम्पलेट दे के उनको एजुकेट करते हैं। और हाँ, और हमारे जैसे जो हमारा हेड है, हमारी जो हेड है वो है जोडी अंडरहिल, एंड ऑल्सो उसने हमें जैसे बैच दिया है, ये स्पॉन्सर कर रहे हैं हमें, ये WWF, दिस वन इज स्पॉन्सर्स एंड दिस टी-शर्ट इज गिवन बाय द माउंटेन क्लीनर्स एंड दिस लोगो ऑफ द माउंटेन क्लीनर। पब्लिक सपोर्ट मिल रहा है बट इतना ज़्यादा नहीं, और ये हमारा प्रशासन जैसे पुलिस हो गया, और ये कभी थोड़ा थोड़ा धीरे धीरे ये करेंगे हेल्प, और ठीक है इनकी तरफ से हेल्प, बट हमें बहुत सी डिफिकल्टीज आ रही हैं।
It was like exhausting for us to collect so much plastic, and it was just 500 meters and we had to bend like 100 times. You know, we found plastic papers spilled everywhere, and this is leading nowhere. I mean, if beautiful places are spoiled like this, there'll be no future tourist destinations for the further generations, and this is going to end up in disasters. So we please request you to be sensible when you're at a nature-friendly place, which is like a forest area or a mountain or any place. Make sure you carry your own plastic and put it in dustbin.
That's what it'll be. We will all end up killing each other, just trying to survive, and we'll be left with nothing. And that money will be of no use to anybody. Nothing.